the Mathews V3X, 33-inch axle to axle. The Mathews V3X 33. In this video, I'm going to give you a review of the Mathews V3X 33. To start off, I want to go through testing the bow, shooting it through the chronograph. I always set up my chronograph exactly 36 inches from where I'm standing. That way, every bow that I review has, I'm shooting it from the same distance. I also want to give a very special thank you to Palo Outdoors, who is enabling me to do the flagship bow review videos this year. They have a great selection of bows, great selection of accessories, and a great selection of guns. And currently, the shop manager, Matt, is trying to look like Santa Claus. So if you want to get that Christmas spirit going, stop on it at Palo Outdoors. And who knows, you may even see me here. So here we go. This is the Mathews VX3 33. Let me give it a little test to the back wall. So as you would expect with a Mathews, there is just a slight bit of give in the back wall. It is a cable stop system, so typically, with bows that have a cable stop, you can experience that. Comes off the back wall as you ease up. It's not the style of bow where you feel like you have to really push your hand forward to ease up and let down. I actually kind of prefer this style for a hunting bow. In case you ever need to let down, you're kind of able to. And I do know that the draw mods this year are equal in the sense that you can use the same type of draw mod to change the draw length and draw weight that you could on last year's model. So that's kind of nice. Let me go ahead and shoot this through the chronograph, and we'll get a little test that way, and then we'll go over some of the details on the bow and a couple things we see this year that maybe we didn't see last year. .334 feet per second, 76 decibels. And it is super quiet. Man, you barely feel this thing going off. You want to talk about dead in the hand. This is one of those types of bows. .333 feet per second. We'll just get an average here. 76.7 decibels. .334 feet per second. 76.6 decibels. Let's just do a little test here for people who want to know what kind of speed and sound you're going to get for hunting arrows. Here is a 450 grain arrow, so we're going to increase by 100 grains and see what we get. .295 feet per second, 74.7 decibels. And here's a 550 grain arrow for those of you who like to go a little bit heavier. .270 feet per second, 71.9 decibels. So let me give you a few first impressions here, and then what I'll do is I'll go to my home office. I'll show you a draw force curve that I created using the draw board, and I'll give you some more of the specs and details of this particular model. But first impression is, it is amazing. I mean, over the years, I have owned Mathews, shot Mathews. I was actually planning to shoot one this past year, and I ended up having a little bit of a better deal somewhere else, but my first choice would have been to try the Mathews again. And I'm just impressed with how dead in the hand. I mean, when this bow goes off, you really almost can't feel it go off. I mean, as I stand here and I just kind of look over the bow at some of the different things that pop out at me, I do notice they have a new screw, and it's hanging right here that goes into right around the sight mounting area. you can put the sight, they probably make a specific sight for this bow. So you can put the sight in through the middle of the riser here and screw it in to hold it in place there. And the purpose for that, and they also have the same ability for the arrow rest, is when you put a sight and a rest on the side of the bow, you create weight on the side of the bow. And by putting it in the center of the riser here, you're not going to have extra tipping. So then there's less offsetting weight you would need to add to this side of the bow. You could keep more of your weight in the center. Now, I personally hunt with a quiver on my bow. So to me, that feature doesn't really stand out to me because no matter what, I'm adding a ton of weight here and I leave the quiver on. And so I always put like a sidebar stabilizer. But for some hunters or archers, that might be significant for you. So I do want to point out that detail. And I really like this bow. And if you have a chance to shoot one, I would encourage you to shoot one. And they have them right here at Palo Outdoors if you're in the area. And if you are, or if you're just ever traveling through, you know, let me know. And who knows, if the schedule permits, maybe I can meet up with you. But let's go ahead back over to the home office and we'll go over some more fine details of the bow, and then we'll close out this video. I also mentioned here the price tag. You're looking at about a $1,200 price for the bow alone. All right, I'm on Mathews' website right here, and before I get into the data from my data charts, I'm just looking. They do mention their sight technology. They're calling it their bridge lock, and as I mentioned, it's intended to help, quote, enhance balance. So again, that whole balancing, you're not adding weight to the one side. That's the purpose of it. So I'd say that's probably one of the main things that stands out for this year's bow. This comes in a 33-inch axle-to-axle, 31, and a 29-inch axle-to-axle. The 29 and the 33 say they're new. I shot the 33-inch, and this one, they say 336 feet per second. And let's go over to my data chart and compare that. So as I look at the all the speeds and all the data here, you know, my average speed was 334 feet per second, which is very close to their advertised 336. I mean, within 2 feet per second. One couple things to note with the Mathews is their draw length typically comes in a little bit long. I had it at the 30-inch draw length setting, and it was measuring 30 3/8. So you get a little bit more there. Also, the peak weight was hitting a little over 70, so it was 71.4. If those were right at 70 pounds and right at 30-inch draw, our speeds would come in a little bit lower. Just pointing that out. Now, in the past, I would go over the data chart in great detail. You could pause the video and look over the data chart. I'm also going to try to create a web page on my website to basically go over some more of the details and provide a chart there. But in order to keep the videos a little bit shorter and not me rambling on, I'm just going to stop there. And I will say that out of all the bows I shot, this was the quietest and the least amount of vibration. I mean, it was amazing when this thing would go off. You couldn't even really feel it. The list price is $1,299. So, you know, the prices of bows are going up. A lot of the other details about the Mathews, you know, that they've had in the past are still present in this bow. Mathews, they've just been making a really nice bow. They've got a great platform, and for many years now. And as I mentioned earlier, I would have shot one last year. They used to give me a discount, but they stopped, you know, that program. So I can't afford $1,300. I've got 4 kids in Catholic school. That's a lot of money every year. So buying a bow like this isn't in the budget this year, but this would be one of my top picks. This is probably the bow that I would buy, to be honest with you, if it was me buying, because I like a longer axle-to-axle, and I don't think any bow can touch this as far as the amount of like no vibration, and I mean, it's just how quiet it was. It was incredible. So I've got more videos to come and to review, and so make sure you watch, you know, for those videos. Also,
I've got other giveaways on my website if you want to check those out. In the next video, I'm actually going to review the 29-inch axle-to-axle version of this bow, and you'll be able to see the difference there. And if you want to see some of the products I use to create this review, I'll put links for those in the description section, such as the arrows, the release, everything like that, in case any of those ever interest you and you want to pick some up for yourself. Until next time, take care and God bless.